In the quiet hum of Earth's existence, humanity thrives in the mundane. Streets bustle with the ordinary, conversations about weather, jobs, and life's little troubles. People live in ignorance of the universe's vast expanse, unaware of their place within it. They are fragile, or so it seems. To alien civilizations peering from beyond the stars, humans are quaint, a species of dreamers and builders with no inkling of the chaos that brews in the cosmos. Yet, beneath this surface, hidden within their DNA, lies a dormant force, a legacy left behind by time or creation itself. This is a species that has forgotten its origin, unaware of the celestial design that pulses through their blood. Millennia ago, humanity was crafted, or perhaps evolved, as something extraordinary. Not conquerors or predators, but as the ultimate response to chaos, a dormant weapon, a perfect counterbalance. Their fragility was a mask, a layer of softness over the core of raw power. Their creators, or the forces that shaped them, ensured they would not awaken prematurely. After all, gods without purpose are a danger even to themselves. For now, humanity thrives in ignorance, blissfully unaware that their fragility is not weakness but a shell for something unyielding. There are glimpses: an athlete who defies physics, a mother lifting impossible weight to save her child, or a scientist whose mind cracks open the mysteries of the universe. But these are dismissed as anomalies, statistical outliers, and miracles. The vast majority of humans continue as they always have, walking the delicate line between survival and growth, dreaming of stars but fearing the darkness between them. And then, the stars respond. It begins without warning, a cold silence blanketing the heavens as lights shimmer ominously across the skies. First contact, but not one of peace. A fleet descends, alien in design and intent. Their motives are clear: Earth is a resource, its people insignificant. Their calculations do not account for resistance. Why should it? To them, humanity is primitive, fragile, and utterly unprepared. The invasion is swift and brutal. Cities fall, monuments crumble, and the cries of billions echo across the globe. Fear grips humanity, a primal terror that freezes the untrained heart. For days, resistance is futile, a patchwork of futile defenses crumbling under superior firepower. The aliens see only weakness, oblivious to the dormant gods slumbering in their midst. In the chaos, some humans begin to experience the unexplainable. At first, it is subtle, strange dreams of war, voices echoing from deep within, urging them to rise. Then it becomes undeniable. An elderly man in a collapsed subway pushes aside concrete slabs that would crush machinery. A soldier, cornered and outnumbered, reacts with superhuman precision, each move a calculated step toward victory. And then, there is Clara. Clara is no one special, a nurse in a small city overwhelmed by casualties. Her life has been one of service, of caring for the weak and wounded. But as the invasion tightens its grip, she feels something stirring within her. At first, it manifests as visions, a battlefield unlike anything she has ever known, endless armies, and a voice whispering her name. She dismisses them as stress, as nightmares brought on by the horrors around her. But when an alien patrol breaches her hospital, hunting survivors, she feels it, the surge. Time slows as she moves with impossible speed. Her hands, once gentle and trained to heal, strike with precision. Within seconds, the patrol is neutralized, their advanced armor no match for her inexplicable strength. Breathless, she stares at her hands, now trembling, not with fear but with the realization of what she has done. The hospital survivors look at her with awe, but Clara feels only confusion. Something inside her has awakened, something she cannot understand but can no longer ignore. Around the world, similar stories unfold. Ordinary people, thrust into extraordinary circumstances, begin to unleash impossible feats. A farmer in the plains of Kansas outmaneuvers a squadron of drones with nothing but instinct and a hunting rifle. A child, barely 10, lifts a bus to save her trapped classmates. These are not isolated incidents, they are the sparks of a fire long forgotten. For the first time, humanity fights back, not with weapons but with themselves. The aliens, once confident in their superiority, begin to falter. Their calculations did not include this: the rise of a species capable of harnessing powers that defy logic. They see humans not as fragile creatures but as anomalies, each encounter revealing a terrifying truth. These, weak, beings are awakening, and their strength is unlike anything the galaxy has ever faced. The final catalyst comes when Clara, now joined by others like her, confronts an alien general. The invaders' leader towers over her, clad in advanced armor, wielding a weapon that hums with deadly energy. Clara has no armor, no weapon, only herself. The general's voice is mechanical, dismissive, a declaration of her impending demise. But Clara does not hear it. She feels the surge again, stronger than before. The battle is swift and brutal. Clara moves with precision, every strike calculated, every movement a dance of power. The alien general, once confident, falters under the sheer force of her attacks. Within moments, the invincible leader lies defeated, their advanced weapons shattered in her hands. The remaining invaders, witnessing the impossible, retreat in panic. As Clara stands victorious, the truth becomes clear, not just to her but to the world. Humanity is not weak. They are not ordinary. They are gods, asleep for millennia, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And now, they have awakened. The war is far from over, but for the first time, Earth has hope. Humanity is no longer prey. They are the storm, the fury of a species that has remembered its purpose. For millennia, humans have seen themselves as ordinary, vulnerable beings. Their wars, though destructive, were limited by their imagination and the constraints of their fragile bodies. But this perception is deceptive. Humanity's history of conflict and survival has forged a latent military potential unlike anything in the galaxy. While other species rely on biological advantages or advanced technologies, humans possess something far more profound: adaptability, endurance, and an instinct for survival that runs deeper than mere evolution. These traits are dormant, hidden beneath the guise of weakness, waiting to be awakened by necessity. The awakening of humanity's latent power reveals the full scope of their military potential. It's not just their newfound strength or abilities that make them formidable, but the combination of these with an innate capacity for strategy and creativity. Humans, once underestimated, become a nightmare for any adversary. They fight with a ferocity born from countless generations of conflict. Their resilience, once mistaken for stubbornness, becomes a defining trait. Injuries that would incapacitate other species are shrugged off by humans, their determination driving them forward. This is not the product of recent evolution but the culmination of countless trials etched into their very being. As the invasion intensifies, humanity begins to uncover relics of an ancient past that redefines their understanding of war. Buried deep beneath ruins, in uncharted caves, or hidden in plain sight, artifacts emerge that speak of a time when humans were not merely survivalists but warriors of an unimaginable scale. Advanced weapons, crafted not by contemporary science but by a knowledge long forgotten, are unearthed. These weapons respond not to the mechanical but to the biological, resonating with the awakening powers of their wielders. In an abandoned temple in the Amazon, explorers stumble upon an enormous structure pulsating with energy. It recognizes the awakening within them and activates, revealing an arsenal of weapons tailored for human hands, sleek, otherworldly devices that enhance their abilities rather than replace them. Each weapon seems alive, amplifying the wielder's strength, speed, and precision. Across the globe, similar discoveries occur. In the sands of the Sahara, a buried fortress reveals an ancient library of war strategies, each plan more intricate than anything known to modern military doctrine. These are not merely artifacts, they are evidence of a time when humans were at their peak, and their creators, or predecessors, knew what they were capable of. The alien invaders, who rely on predictable patterns and brute force, find themselves unprepared for what follows. Humans wield these relics with a natural ease that defies logic, their every movement echoing the actions of their ancestors. The weapons amplify not only their physical abilities but their capacity for creativity and adaptability. Unlike their technologically superior foes, who depend on pre-programmed systems and rigid hierarchies, humans think on their feet. Their strategies are fluid, changing mid-battle in ways that leave the invaders reeling. What sets humanity apart is not just their strength or the rediscovered technologies but their minds. Humans are tactically brilliant in ways no algorithm can replicate. Each human is an individual thinker, capable of innovation and improvisation in the heat of battle. While the invaders rely on calculated moves and overwhelming force, humans thrive in chaos. They turn every disadvantage into an opportunity, every weakness into a strength. A collapsing building becomes a shield. A failed attack is transformed into bait for a devastating counterstrike. Their ability to adapt to unforeseen circumstances makes them a terrifying enemy. The invaders are accustomed to predictable resistance, species that either submit or fight within the boundaries of their capabilities. Humanity, however, refuses to play by the rules. When faced with overwhelming odds, they innovate. They study their enemies, finding and exploiting weaknesses no other species would even consider. A single human outnumbered and outgunned can hold their ground, not because of superior firepower but because of superior strategy. It is this ingenuity that turns battles into victories and survival into dominance. As the war progresses, stories spread among the invaders' ranks of human ingenuity. Entire fleets are outmaneuvered by what seems like impossible coordination. Human soldiers, once seen as prey, are now legends whispered in fear. They are not like the other species. They do not falter under pressure but thrive in it. A small human task force outwits an armada. A single operative sabotages a critical alien facility with nothing but wit and determination. These are not isolated events but the new reality. Human adaptability is their greatest weapon. No two humans fight the same way. Each one learns from their environment, their mistakes, and even their enemies. What one human discovers is quickly shared, turning individual victories into a collective strength. This hive-like exchange of knowledge is not enforced by technology but by a shared drive for survival and victory. Humanity becomes a network of warriors, each one contributing to the whole in ways the invaders cannot comprehend. The war shifts dramatically as humanity embraces its full potential. They are no longer a species of dreamers but warriors, each one a force to be reckoned with. The invaders, once confident in their superiority, now face an enemy that defies every expectation. Humanity's tactical brilliance, combined with their rediscovered technologies and awakened abilities, makes them unstoppable. For the first time, the galaxy sees humans not as fragile beings but as the sleeping giants they truly are. The awakening of godlike powers is not a seamless transition. For those experiencing it, the surge of strength, speed, and perception feels alien, both exhilarating and terrifying. Clara, who once lived as an ordinary nurse, now finds herself grappling with an overwhelming sense of responsibility. The power coursing through her veins doesn't just feel like a gift, it feels like a burden, a reminder that she is no longer who she once was. She is stronger, faster, and more aware, but at what cost? For days, Clara avoids using her abilities unless absolutely necessary, fearful of the destruction she might unleash. The memory of her first fight haunts her, the ease with which she dispatched the alien patrol, the raw force she exerted without fully understanding it. Each time she closes her eyes, she sees their faces, their confusion, their fear. Were they truly evil, or were they simply following orders? And if she continues to fight, where does the line between protector and executioner blur? Others like Clara share similar struggles. Among them, Marcus, a young soldier who has always believed in justice, now questions whether his actions are righteous or reckless. His newfound strength makes him nearly invincible, but he feels detached from the humanity he's fighting to protect. Can someone wielding such power truly understand the plight of the powerless? The internal conflict is not just about morality, but about identity. Who are they now? Gods masquerading as humans or humans who have become gods? As days turn into weeks, the struggle becomes less about rejecting their powers and more about understanding them. The voices in their dreams, the flashes of ancient memories, they are not random. Clara begins to piece together fragments of a larger truth. These memories aren't hers alone. They are the echoes of an ancient lineage, a collective knowledge passed down through generations. It is as if the awakening has unlocked a library of wisdom buried within her mind. In moments of quiet reflection, she sees visions of a time when humanity stood as equals to the stars, wielding their powers not just in battle but in creation, exploration, and understanding. Marcus, too, begins to experience a mental and spiritual transformation. In the heat of combat, when instincts take over, he finds himself making decisions that feel guided, not by training but by an innate understanding of war. Strategies he couldn't have possibly learned, tactics that defy modern logic, flow naturally. He dreams of great battles fought eons ago, not as an observer but as a participant. These memories bring clarity. The powers they possess are not a curse but a calling, a return to a purpose long forgotten. This realization comes with immense mental growth. Clara and Marcus, along with others, begin to shed the fear of their abilities. They meditate, reflect, and explore the depth of their awakening. They learn that their powers are not merely physical but deeply connected to their thoughts, emotions, and willpower. Clara finds that her abilities respond to her state of mind. Anger makes her stronger but uncontrollable, while calm focus sharpens her precision. The power is not just within her body but within her very essence. Through this growth, they also unlock a deeper connection to each other and to humanity as a whole. The awakening isn't just an individual journey, it's a collective one. Clara feels the pulse of others like her, a shared consciousness that binds them across distances. When one of them learns a new technique, the others feel it too, as if knowledge itself flows between them. This unity, this bond, strengthens their resolve. They are not alone in their struggles, they are part of something greater. Harnessing their powers, however, is no simple feat. The transition from fear to mastery requires discipline and focus. Clara trains relentlessly, pushing herself to understand the limits of her abilities and how to control them. She discovers that her strength, while immense, is not infinite. It is tied to her energy, her emotions, her very soul. Learning to balance these elements is key. She practices channeling her strength, using it in precise, measured ways rather than letting it overwhelm her. Marcus, on the other hand, dives into the tactical applications of his abilities. He experiments with his heightened senses, using them to predict enemy movements and anticipate attacks. He learns to manipulate his surroundings, turning every environment into an advantage. In one battle, he uses his speed and agility not to attack but to create diversions, outsmarting an entire squadron without a single blow. Mastery for Marcus is not about raw power but about precision, control, and intellect. Both Clara and Marcus come to understand that their power is not just a weapon, it is a tool, a responsibility, and most importantly, a choice. They learn to wield it not out of anger or fear but out of purpose. Clara uses her abilities to shield and protect, becoming a beacon of hope for those she saves. Marcus, once a soldier bound by orders, becomes a strategist, leading others with confidence and wisdom. The transformation is complete when Clara faces a critical moment, an enemy far stronger than any she's encountered before. In the past, she might have hesitated, doubted herself. But now, she is calm, focused. She draws not only on her strength but on everything she has learned, the memories of her ancestors, the unity of her fellow awakened, and the knowledge that she is more than a fighter. She is a protector, a leader, a god in human form. The battle ends with a decisive victory, not just because of Clara's power but because of her growth. She has become the embodiment of what humanity is meant to be, not destroyers, but guardians. The internal struggle has forged her into something greater. She, Marcus, and the others are no longer just individuals. They are the gods within, awakened and ready to guide humanity toward its destiny. The galactic invasion begins with the arrogance of conquerors who see Earth as nothing more than a stepping stone in their grand plans. Vast fleets darken the skies, their advanced weapons unleashing destruction upon cities, landscapes, and ecosystems. To these invaders, humanity is a soft target, primitive, disorganized, and utterly beneath them. They march forward with a chilling confidence, their forces seemingly unstoppable, their victory inevitable. At first, humanity's resistance is scattered, a desperate attempt to fight back against insurmountable odds. Militaries around the world scramble to repel the attackers, but their weapons are woefully inadequate against the invaders' impenetrable shields and overwhelming firepower. Billions of lives are lost in the initial weeks of the invasion. Cities fall, civilizations crumble, and the very fabric of human existence teeters on the brink of collapse. The galaxy watches with indifference, certain that Earth's fall is a foregone conclusion. But humanity is far from finished. Beneath the veneer of chaos, a storm is brewing. The awakening that began in individuals now spreads like wildfire across the globe. Ordinary people, once helpless against the invaders, rise with a power that defies explanation. Strength, speed, and tactical brilliance emerge in those who had never held a weapon before. What the invaders saw as humanity's weakness, its individuality, its unpredictability, becomes its greatest strength. As the awakening reaches critical mass, humanity begins to rally. Leaders, both military and civilian, emerge from the chaos, uniting disparate factions under a single cause: survival. No longer limited by their former weaknesses, humans begin to organize a counteroffensive. They adapt faster than the invaders anticipate, learning from every defeat, turning each loss into a lesson. The invaders, accustomed to conquering through brute force, find themselves facing an enemy they cannot fully understand. The counterattack begins with a ferocity that catches the invaders off guard. Human soldiers, empowered by their newfound abilities, charge into battle with a resilience and determination that seems almost reckless. But it isn't recklessness, it's a strategy born from millennia of dormant potential. Clara, now a leader among the awakened, leads an assault on an alien stronghold. She moves like a force of nature, her every step calculated, her every strike devastating. The invaders, who once saw her as insignificant, now fear her presence on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Marcus orchestrates an ambush in orbit. Using tactics that blend ancient human warfare with the precision of modern technology, he leads a fleet of human-piloted ships to outmaneuver a vastly superior alien armada. His ability to think several moves ahead turns what should have been a massacre into a stunning victory. The invaders' ships, designed for predictable combat scenarios, are no match for Marcus's improvisation. The battles are not without cost. Humanity suffers losses, each one a painful reminder of the stakes. But each sacrifice strengthens their resolve. They fight not just for survival but for the legacy of what they are. Every skirmish becomes a proving ground, every victory a testament to their adaptability and strength. The invaders, once confident in their domination, begin to falter. Their commanders argue amongst themselves, unable to comprehend how a species they dismissed as weak is now routing their forces. Key victories ripple across the galaxy. At the Battle of the Red Horizon, human forces, vastly outnumbered, employ guerrilla tactics to dismantle a planetary siege. At the Storm Rift, a single human pilot sacrifices herself to collapse a wormhole, cutting off reinforcements to an enemy fleet. These moments are more than just victories, they are legends in the making. The galaxy, once indifferent, begins to take notice. Among the alien worlds, whispers spread of the sleeping gods of Earth. They speak of Clara, the healer-turned-warrior whose power turns the tide of battles. They tell tales of Marcus, the brilliant strategist who outthinks entire fleets. They recount stories of nameless humans whose courage and ingenuity defy logic. These tales inspire fear in some and awe in others. The invaders, once united in their conquest, now find themselves divided, some driven by desperation to crush humanity, others questioning whether the war is worth the cost. As the war drags on, humanity's reputation grows. They are no longer seen as victims or prey but as a force to be reckoned with. On alien worlds, their name becomes a warning, a symbol of defiance and resilience. The invaders, once certain of their victory, now face a sobering reality. They have awakened an enemy they cannot defeat. In the final moments of this phase of the war, humanity stands tall, bloodied but unbroken. They have proven not just their strength but their ingenuity, their resilience, and their unity. The galaxy watches in stunned silence, realizing that Earth is no longer a battleground but a symbol of what happens when gods awaken. The war's end marks the beginning of a new era for humanity. The invaders, once the apex predators of the galaxy, are defeated, their forces shattered, and their fleets reduced to ruins. Earth, once seen as a backwater planet, now stands as a beacon of power and resilience. Humanity, fully awakened to its latent potential, begins to step into its role not as victims but as victors. The galaxy looks on with a mix of awe and trepidation, unsure of what these newly emerged war gods will do next. Humanity wastes no time in solidifying its place among the stars. The war's aftermath leaves a fractured galactic order, with former allies of the invaders seeking guidance and protection. Instead of retreating into isolation, humans take on the mantle of leadership, forging an empire built on the principles of justice, strength, and unity. The worlds once ravaged by war are rebuilt under human oversight, their people offer not subjugation but partnership. Humanity's message is clear: they are not conquerors, but guardians. The Empire's foundation is rooted in respect earned through blood and perseverance. Where other species once dismissed humans as weak, they now see them as equals, or, in many cases, superiors. Delegations from across the galaxy arrive on Earth, eager to negotiate alliances or simply to understand this species that defied all expectations. Some come out of fear, others out of admiration, but all recognize that humanity is now a central force in galactic politics. The transition from warriors to leaders, however, is not without challenges. Humanity, having awakened to its godlike abilities, must grapple with the weight of its new responsibilities. Victory in war is one thing, maintaining peace is another. The powers that once tore through enemy lines must now be tempered with wisdom and restraint. Clara, who once led battles, now finds herself mediating disputes between alien factions. Her strength, once a symbol of destruction, becomes a symbol of stability. Marcus, whose strategies turned the tide of war, now devises plans for governance and diplomacy. He recognizes that brute force cannot sustain an empire. Instead, humanity's greatest weapon becomes its adaptability, applied now not to war but to peacekeeping. The challenge is immense: to lead without dominating, to protect without oppressing. But humanity rises to it, proving that their strength is not limited to the battlefield. As humanity's influence spreads, they establish a Council of Worlds, a governing body where every species, regardless of their power, has a voice. It is an unprecedented move in galactic history, one that earns humanity both respect and allies. This council becomes a forum for resolving conflicts, a place where humanity's tactical brilliance and moral compass shine. Other species, once skeptical of human leadership, find themselves drawn to this vision of unity and cooperation. Humanity's powers, once feared as instruments of war, are now used to heal and build. The same abilities that tore through enemy fleets are harnessed to terraform planets, restore devastated ecosystems, and create technologies that benefit all. Clara and Marcus, along with others like them, dedicate themselves to teaching and guiding the next generation. They know that power without wisdom is dangerous, and they strive to ensure that humanity's legacy is one of balance and understanding. The galaxy begins to see humanity not as conquerors but as stewards. Their leadership is not without flaws, but it is guided by a collective understanding of what it means to suffer, to struggle, and to rise above it. The lessons of the war are not forgotten. Every decision is weighed against the cost of what was lost, ensuring that humanity's reign does not mirror the mistakes of those they defeated. The legacy of the war gods becomes a cornerstone of this new era. Clara, Marcus, and other heroes of the awakening are immortalized not just in statues and stories but in the very fabric of galactic culture. Their names become synonymous with courage, resilience, and the potential for greatness that lies within all beings. Alien children grow up hearing tales of humanity's rise, not as a warning but as an inspiration. The war gods are not just symbols of power but of hope, proof that even in the darkest times, light can emerge. This legacy shapes the galaxy for generations. Humanity's leaders, drawn from the ranks of those who fought and sacrificed, become philosophers, architects, and visionaries. They guide the galaxy toward a future where strength is tempered by compassion, and power is wielded with care. The scars of the war remain, but they serve as reminders of what was endured and what was gained. As the years pass, humanity's place in the galaxy becomes undeniable. They are no longer the children of Earth, confined to a single planet and a fragile existence. They are the architects of a new galactic order, the stewards of peace, and the guardians of a legacy that will endure for millennia. The galaxy, once fragmented and chaotic, now thrives under their leadership. And as humanity looks to the stars, they do so not as conquerors but as explorers. The war gods have awakened, not to dominate, but to lead. They carry with them the lessons of their past, the strength of their present, and the hope for their future, a future where their power is a beacon, not a blade. The reign of humanity has begun, and it is a reign not of fear, but of respect, unity, and boundless potential.